Hey guys, it's Emily. Today I'm going to be showing you how to perfect your eyebrows at home. So this process that I'm going to show you is something that I've been doing for years. I have gotten my eyebrows waxed maybe once or twice in my life, and you know, I've just figured out a way to replicate that at home, save some money, and I can do it on my own time. I don't have to go anywhere. I really like this. It works really well for me, and I thought I would share it with you. So there's a couple things that you're gonna need. It's not very much, I promise. All you need is a pair of little sewing or cosmetic scissors, something with a really tiny sharp point. You're going to need a pair of tweezers. These are my little Tweezermans. I love the little pattern on them. They are so cute, and it just makes doing my brows a little bit more enjoyable. And lastly, you're going to need a little spoolie. Let's zoom you in here so you can see my brows and my no makeup in all its glory. So these are what my eyebrows look like without any product in them or without any shaping. I don't know. I kind of have really sparse brows. Like, they take up a lot of space on my face, but they aren't really full. So that's sort of what I'm working with. My hairs are pretty like thick and coarse. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about my eyebrows, but there they are. So the first thing that I do is comb my eyebrow hairs up using a spoolie. I take my time to really push them up into place and get those hairs standing out as far as I possibly can. Once I've done that, I'm gonna take my little scissors here. Don't be afraid. Just, you can't mess this up. Well, I don't promise, but I know that you can do it. I swear, if I can do it, you can do it. I'm just taking my scissors here and trimming just the very ends of the hairs that I just brushed up. You might have to stop and recomb your brow hairs up because they will fall back into place. But I go all the way to the very front of my brow, and you can already see the difference that makes. I'm gonna move on to this other side now. I like to do one step at a time, moving in between the brows so I can get them really close to even. So just brushing up those hairs. This side's a little more awkward because I'm right-handed and I have to like reach across my body. And I just trim the very tops of the hairs. I hold the scissors as flat as I can to my face. And a lot of times on this side, I will have to face the scissors this way. Sometimes that pushes the hair down, but that's okay. Better safe than sorry. I just get really close to the front of the brow and trim so it's nice and sharp. Going back in here, trim a little bit more. If you find that you're having a hard time with your brows staying in place, just use a clear brow gel to comb your brow hairs in place. That way you can trim them a little bit more easily without them falling back in line. So those are the brows after just one step, and if you're uncomfortable with more trimming, then just stop here, but I'm going to move on and do a tiny little bit more. Now I'm going to brush my brow hairs down a little bit, and I'm just going to do on the outside half of my brow. I don't worry about this stuff over here. So I just comb these down. I'm just going to follow the exact same procedure here. I'm just going to trim the little ends right there. Boom. Alright, so that's it for the trimming, and now I'm going to move on to the shaping. And I typically like to start out by working on the tops of my brow. It's just a little bit less intimidating because I don't really like to change the shape at all on the top of my brow. I'm just sort of cleaning it up. Alright, I think you guys are in close enough. I don't like to spend too much time here. I just pluck all the little baby hairs that sit on top of my brow just to clean that area up. It makes a big difference. By cleaning up these baby hairs up here, that's really what's going to give your eyebrows the appearance of being waxed, because this area up here will be completely bare and really clean, which is something that waxing does for you and a lot of times you miss when you're plucking. So I have a fun fact for you. When I was 14 or so years old, I was a freshman in high school, I got my eyebrows waxed for the first time. And then I shortly after went to dance camp with my high school dance team. So this was an overnight sort of a thing. We're staying in dorms at a college, and I went into the shower with 2 eyebrows and I came out with 1.5. The entire half of my right eyebrow from here over was gone. The whole thing. So yeah, that was traumatizing. Ooh, these baby hairs, they hurt the most, I think. They just, oh, so sensitive. The last step is just to finish up the bottom half of the brow. This is the most dangerous part, you guys, because you are now at risk for over plucking your brows. Don't do it. That's all I can say. Just pluck what is out of line and doesn't make sense, and then you can do a little bit of shaping, but just stop before it gets too out of hand, okay? Make sure that you extend your plucking procedure all the way out over in your temple area. I tend to get a little bit of like little baby hairs out there. They're not really brow hairs, but get those as well. That'll just make your eyebrows look a lot sharper and cleaner. My brows naturally grow in a straight line here and then start to arch up. I like to have this as more of a slant, so I kind of cut off a tiny bit of this corner right here. So I'm gonna do that, and I'm not going to thin my eyebrows out too much. I'm just going to shape them a tiny bit. Okay, now I'm just going to clean up right here and get these baby hairs. Another piece of advice just when it comes to general brow shaping is you want to leave your growth in right here. So what I mean by that is don't pluck this area back so your eyebrows starts, you know, here or anything. That will make the appearance of your nose look a lot larger, and it just doesn't frame the eye as well. And I find that to be the case on every single person. That's just like a general rule of thumb. Don't overpluck the center of your eyebrows unless you have like a full-on unibrow and you want to take care of that. I get it. I get it. But just remember not to go out too far. Okay, I'm just gonna brush those brow hairs up and make sure I didn't miss anything on this side. Looks pretty dang good, I think. I mean, there's a lot of redness here and that'll go away soon, but it's looking good. So I'm gonna finish up the other side. Sometimes it helps me to raise my eyebrows a bit. That way the skin is pulled a little bit tighter and just makes it easier to get the hairs. Okay, so at this point I have gone through all the steps. I have shaped and sculpted my brows. I've trimmed them and they are much tamer now. So I'm just going to take a look at them and make sure that they don't look too different. Make sure that I got everything that I wanted to. I think I might trim my hairs a little bit more on this side. All right, the scary part is done. I will be right back. I'm gonna just put on some foundation and concealer and then we can fill in the brows. Long time no see, guys. Okay, so now we're gonna fill in the brows. I am going to start by brushing the brow hairs up on one side, and then I'm going to be using my Anastasia Brow Wiz in the shade dark brown. The first thing that I typically like to do is start at the very front of the brow and do feathering motions all the way through the very end. You want to make sure that you are moving your pencil in the same direction as your brow hairs. Okay, so that's one pass through the brows. I'm going to now take my spoolie and just comb through the hairs and make sure that the product is evenly distributed here. And now that I have shaped my brows, they already look really good. If I do say so myself, I could just stop here if I wanted to, but I'm going to shape them just a tiny bit more and just carve them out a little bit, and then move on to the other side. Now I'm gonna draw like a little line here at the bottom of my brow just to give the shape some more definition and to make it cleaner. And then I brush up here. And I'm also raising my eyebrows to get this front section. I feel like I can distribute the product a lot better that way. All right, now I think I'm just gonna fill in this little area right here. It looks a little sparse. And go along the top of the brow just to make sure it has a good shape up there. And I always like to extend the tail of my brow just a tiny bit, make my brows nice and long and arch. And of course, comb through one last time. Boom, look at the difference. That took like 30 seconds, so it is well worth the time. And of course, I'm gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. I just brushed those brow hairs up, And I'm going to start with light feathering motions at the very front of my brow and work all the way through the ends. Now I'm just brushing through with the spoolie. Then I'm going to jump back in and carve out this line underneath my brow. And then I'm going to brush up. Then I'm just taking a look and see what looks sparse, and to me it's this area right here, and then I also have like a little bald spot right here. And then brush them up. Now I'm going to use a little bit of my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. This stuff is so old, I need to get a new one, but it still has product in there. I'm going to brush that through, and I focus the majority of the product on this part of my brow because that's what tends to get the most unruly. I must say that those are some beautiful brows. I feel like they look pretty perfect and they still look natural. I'll be right back. I'm going to put some lipstick on and some mascara, and I'll see you in a sec. Alright guys, so that actually completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something kind of different and cool today. I know it's not my typical type of video, but I think it's really valuable. It has saved me a lot of time and a lot of money over the years. If you're a little scared or timid to try this at home, don't be. I have 100% faith and confidence in you. You can do it. I know you can. And if you're scared to try this on yourself, then just practice on someone else first. No, I'm just kidding. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. You guys are awesome. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you want to join my little YouTube family. And of course, if you enjoyed this video and if you learned something, then give it a big thumbs up. That would mean so much to me and it helps me figure out what I'm going to do with future videos. Alright guys, I'm going to sign off now because I'm dying to try the new Chipotle queso. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you very, very soon in another video. Bye.